Cameron Eldred, doctorate in athletic training student through Indiana State University. So this video is going to be about ownership and responsibility. This is kind of the end of this week's assignments, but it gives me the opportunity to really reflect on some of the things that I've done over the last little while. One of the biggest things that we do in today's, day and age, we don't take responsibility for a lot of the things that we should, or we're not willing to take responsibility for things even though it may not be our job. It needs to get done. So, I reflected and I reviewed, and to be honest with you, I always thought to myself, like, I'm a hard worker. I've always done things the way that they needed to be done, always done what people asked of me. I try not to skip on assignments, I try not to skimp on other such things. If I do, it's by total accident. But one thing that I have done is I've looked at a situation and said, well, that's not my job. Nobody told me to. Why should I do this? That's just extra time. It's extra energy. It's extra expenditure that I don't want to have to deal with. But in my field of athletic training, that's not okay. And the more I think about it, the more I'm embarrassed about it, because it's not about me. It's about the patients that I work with. It's about the people that I deal with on a regular basis. If something's not getting done, it could potentially cost a life. I would say 96% of the time, it's minor things that don't get done. When I say that's not my job, I put together an SOP, an ordering supply, whatever. I hand it off to whoever it needs it, and if it doesn't get ordered, I'm just like, well, it's out of my hands. It's not my job. But I've started taking more responsibility when it comes to those types of things, because I realize that sometimes other people need a swift kick in the butt too, just like myself. This semester's been really hard on me. I'm not a vulnerable person. I don't open up very often, but that's something I'm trying to change. It's something I'm trying to improve upon and be better about. Last time that I made myself vulnerable was, it was a long time ago. I grew up in the military, go figure. So when it comes to emotions and closing myself off and acting like everything's okay, I'm really good at it. When in reality, some things aren't okay. I'm going through a hard time in my life right now, and I haven't reached out to anyone. And the reason that I think I've done that is because I'm too prideful to admit when I need help. And I want to make things... How do I put this? I want to make things work without the help of others, and I want to do things on my own. So this week, I created a goal for myself, and I wrote it down, and it is taped to the wall right in front of me, and it says, be vulnerable, ask for help. And that, even if that's just, I apologize, I have to do these things at my school because otherwise my child just obliterates my videos. You get to hear him screaming instead of the intercom every now and again. So anyways, being vulnerable is something that I'm not good at. So I made that my goal this week, was to reach out for help. And whether that's with understanding of an assignment or an article, or reaching out and talking to a professor about something that's going on in my life. I'm currently getting the courage up just to ask for a little bit of help and guidance. There's a lot that's going on in my life. But I need to be more vulnerable, and that doesn't just include me being more in tune with my emotions and with asking for help. That also includes listening. I need to be better at listening. I need to be more willing to listen, because sometimes I just jump to a conclusion. So this week it's all about You know, putting the ball back in my court, taking control of my life, understanding that I cannot control everything. I may be an organizational freak, but curveballs are thrown all the time. It's not always going to be a fastball. You know, I can get a changeup, I can get a curveball, I can get a slider. It's not going to be the same thing every time, and I need to deal with that in a better manner. So reaching out is going to be my first step to becoming more vulnerable. I know that, you know, part of this was focusing on stop letting work and life happen to you and take more control. This is part of me taking control, is allowing others to help. This is part of me becoming more vulnerable. This is part of me saying, you know, I need help. And where do I go from here? Because that's part of, you know, I was just, if something came at me, it would happen and I'd move on and I'd just forget about it. So this is me becoming more vulnerable. I'm asking for help from a few specific people, and we're going to improve. We're going to improve life. And I'm sorry for this being so deep. You know, it's kind of been one of those weeks, and this class this week has really opened up my eyes and really helped me become more than what I am. I truly appreciate the assignments that we've had this week. They've been small, but they've been meaningful, and that's to me what counted this week and what I really needed. And it's funny that it happened now. So thank you again for listening to my explanation on my own ownership and responsibility. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But I'm excited to work towards a better me.